Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today is June 3rd, 2025 and old school RuneScape was down for about 6 hours today, and then after that they hit us with this, pausing Project Zanaris and what's next. So for those who don't know, Project Zanaris was pretty much a project that Jagex was working on where the community could host their own sort of servers with their own rules, change the XP raise, drop rates, and kind of like make their own version of RuneScape, and they could invite friends or whatever. This was going to be really good for people like content creators or maybe people that don't have enough time to play RuneScape. They could experience endgame content or different types of content that aren't actually in old school yet. The main concern with this for me though was that it might split the community up, not by a whole lot, but by a little bit. Some benefits though with the Project Zanaris was that maybe there'd be less people joining private servers, because if Jagex hosts their own private servers, there'll be less demand for other servers, right? I mean, there's always still going to be private servers, right, of different eras of RuneScape, but if you could host your own, then maybe less people would play the non-Jagex ones. Okay, so let's hop right into this today. So let's talk about Project Zanaris and the future of old school. We've got an important update regarding Project Zanaris for you today. So after careful consideration, we decided to pause work on Zanaris indefinitely. We're committed to delivering the best possible old school RuneScape experience. With a renewed focus and continued support from our incredible team, we're excited to keep making old school RuneScape even better for everyone. We understand that feelings around the project were mixed, and many of the concerns raised were fair. The truth is, there are other areas of the core old school experience that deserve more attention right now. I honestly completely agree with this statement. I feel like doing that is kind of jumping ahead way too much at the moment when the game is doing so well. They should focus more of the staff or employees to the main game rather than focusing on something that hasn't even come out yet, and who knows if it will just be a quick fling or if it would be something that would last for a while, right? It's really hard to say with something like that. So while Zanaris was ambitious and innovative, it wouldn't have met expectations until much later in development. Rather than stretch our focus, we want to prioritize the things that matter most to you today. So we're committed to transparency, and we believe that focusing on core gameplay, infrastructure, and services will have the most meaningful impact. I completely agree with that as well, right? Focus on the main game, it's doing so well. Focus more on botting, focus more on account security, and just overall like the content that they've been putting into the game a lot. You've got a big year coming up. We have sailing coming out, a new Grandmaster quest I think next year. So there's a lot to focus on, right? So our goal is to address your immediate concerns, build a stronger foundation, and pave the way for a better old school experience overall. Okay, so what's happening now? So the incredible talent behind the project have been redistributed across Jagex or directly moved to old school to help with ongoing improvements and exciting new initiatives. So here's some of the ways the talent and technology from Zanaris will directly benefit old school RuneScape in the future. So faster, more creative events and content ideas. So the Zanaris team had lots of new gameplay ideas and incredible concepts for events and features. Rather than shelving these, we'll explore how we could introduce some of these innovations through carefully catered temporary worlds. This means we can give you fresh experiences without impacting the old school RuneScape core you love. So improved server infrastructure. We'll be using the cloud server technology developed for Zanaris to enhance our existing game worlds. This means greater reliability during peak periods. That's always nice. Wider region support. We're exploring options to bring an improved service to underserved regions outside our core world locations, such as the UK, the US, Germany, and Australia. More engaging customization. So Zanaris brought us many customization options that can now be introduced to main old school RuneScape worlds or special event servers. These improvements will allow us to create more exciting time-limited events and experimental content for you to enjoy. And strengthening the roadmap. So members of the Zanaris team will be actively contributing the key initiatives on the old school RuneScape roadmap, helping to enhance major content and support the game's long-term development. So pretty much what they're saying here is the whole Zanaris team didn't waste their time. They learned a lot, and it will actually help old school RuneScape in the future. So community events, a new approach. So while Project Zanaris itself has paused, the spirit behind it to empower you to explore unique, experimental content is alive and well. Many of you asked for ways to experiment fresh gameplay ideas without impacting the main game. We're excited to progress this idea in a different form. So rather than custom player-hosted worlds, we're exploring the prospect of delivering more community events. These would be special, time-limited, similar to Deadman mode and leagues, operate to safely explore and enjoy entirely new types of gameplay and concepts. This could even be a space where you can trial new content before it potentially makes its way into the main game via the usual polling system. You'll play a crucial role in these experiments, as it's your feedback that will help us shape the future of old school RuneScape. I definitely like the idea of like servers where you can try things similar to like the sailing alpha and stuff like that. Also, if we could get more game modes similar to Deadman or Leagues, I'm all for that as well. Different ways to enjoy and play old school RuneScape. We'll have to see what they come up with though, for sure. Even some like, I remember way back in the day, they did this thing called like King of the Skill, where you had like 24 hours of in-game time to like get as much XP as you could or something. Like things like that could be fun. So what's next? We want to take inspiration from the amazing things you're already doing. So this community is one of the most creative and inspiring out there, and we're committed to supporting what makes it so special. Got an idea for a future community event, whether it's an epic PvP tournament, the return of King of the Skill, I was literally just talking about that, a creative twist on exciting content, or something completely new and original. We're ready to listen. We're not afraid to try new things, and we remain committed to working directly with you to find the ideas that resonate most. So speaking of those ideas, you can visit the Old School RuneScape Discord and share what you'd like to see in a new form. Very interesting. I'm a little disappointed that Project Zanaris is on pause, or it might not ever come out. It kind of almost seems like they're leaning on more different options now, or maybe they'll release it in a couple years' time when it's more ready to go or whatever. It was going to be fun. It was going to be a safe way to play private servers, right? I was even going to get a bunch of my friends that used to play RuneScape to hop back on, and we could like do some PvP together or whatever. It could be a cool way to make different series for content creators out there, right? You could make a very slow version of the game. You could lock yourself to one place, like actually, you know what I mean? There was going to be a lot of different ways you could play old school RuneScape, and yeah, I think it would have definitely done well, but there is a lot of other issues with it too, like splitting the community, and it requires so much time, and different people at Jagex would have to go and work on it all the time. It might cost them a lot more with the hosting. So there's definitely pros and cons to it, but it's weird that, people have been hyped for it for a while, and now all of a sudden they want to put it on pause. I do like the idea of them hosting more of like the events in game though. That could definitely be a lot of fun, but then again, it's all going to be under the control of Jagex, right? It was going to be exciting to see what maybe the community actually could come up with. I know we've got some insane coders and stuff like that out there, and they could have made crazy worlds, but if one of them got too big, for example, they could have like a PvP server where you just like click pure and go into the wilderness. It might really destroy something like PvP in the main game, right? Because why would you spend all the time building a peer or building an account to PK with when you could just go in type thing. I know for money and whatnot and the risk, but it's one of those things where, like, you wouldn't have to do a lot of stuff because you could just skip it, go right to the fun content, and it might divide the community too much at the end of the day. But let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments below. Were you excited for Project Zanaris, or did you not really care? And would you rather them focus all of their time on the main game? I'm kind of almost split in the middle, right? I'm happy that they're going to spend more time on the main game, but it was going to be something cool for sure, the Project Zanaris. But we'll have to see what Jagex comes up with, and maybe we'll have some cool new community events coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.